Yeah, Shalom Israel, Shalom. Peace Israel. Brakat Yahweh, Brakat Yahweh Shai. Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great Milton who teach well and rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim pushing his truth all over the earth. And to the Akwith listening, quietly listening and learning, Shalom. It's your brother Shema from the Pillars of Benjamin camp with a quick lesson. And the title of this lesson is America, I don't know what the title's gonna be, man. Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know. But it's pretty much, I was reading an article, and protests, man, workers, employees protesting, right, for better pay and protesting that they're concerned for their safety, man. But we'll read it, you know what I mean, and then we'll get a couple precepts, man. Isn't it? But America the Great, man. Babylon the Great, man. Strikes erupt. Where is it? Yeah, The Guardian. This article came out this morning. 7 a.m. this morning, East Coast time. Tuesday, May. Where is it? Salakia. Yeah, right here. Tuesday, May 19th, 7 a.m. this morning. Strikes erupt as U.S. essential workers demand protection amid pandemic. Wildcat strikes, walkouts, and protests over working conditions have erupted across the U.S. throughout the coronavirus pandemic as essential workers have demanded better pay and safer working conditions. Labor leaders are hoping the protests can lead to permanent change. Permanent change? This whole system, Babylon systems, it's falling, man. Permanent change is going to be the fall of Babylon, isn't it? Norma Kennedy, an employee at an American apparel clothing plant, is one of those people. Kennedy, along with dozens of other workers, walked off her job in Selma, Alabama on the 23rd of April after 2 workers tested positive for coronavirus. The plant has remained open during the pandemic to manufacture face masks for a U.S. Army contract. Right. We left for our own protection, said Kennedy. Beforehand, the management said if someone tested positive, they would shut down and have the plant cleaned. When workers tested positive, they didn't want to shut it down. They're not really concerned about the workers, right? And this is a worker complaining about the conditions, man. You know what I mean? Working conditions, low pay, and lack of safety protections have triggered protests throughout the pandemic as workers across various industries, including food service, meat processing, retail, manufacturing, transportation, and healthcare, have come together to protest about issues, many of which were apparent before the coronavirus. There are no federal mandates or requirements to implement the social distancing guidance or anything else, right? So on the federal level, nothing's being enforced, right? It's only guidance, and employers can choose to implement them or not. So individual employers can choose whether or not they want to implement guidelines, right? And that is why, in an unprecedented way, they are walking out to bring public attention to the fact that their companies are not protecting their safety and their health. Right. People are protesting, man. You know what I mean? And hoping it can be a change for the better, for the norm. Right. I wanted to get a precept. This lady said here in the beginning, right? Right, this paragraph here. Labor leaders are hoping the protest can lead to permanent change. Permanent change, right? Let's get a precept. Second Ezra. Permanent change. Here's the permanent change that's coming, right? Second Ezra 6, verse 9. For Esau, the end of the world, right? We're seeing the changing of kingdoms pop off right now, man. With everything that's going on. For Esau is the end of the world, the end of this kingdom, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So the end of this kingdom, Esau's kingdom, and the beginning of the next kingdom, Jacob's kingdom, man. Right? That's the permanent change that we're going to witness. Right? Isn't it? That's the permanent change that we're going to witness. Right? Laborers are hoping that it could be a change for the better. A permanent change. Right? Let's get back to the article. Robert Echeves, a truck driver in El Paso, Texas for 10 years, was one of hundreds of drivers who joined in a protest convoy through El Paso on Friday, the 1st of May. Yeah, there was a truck convoy protest a few weeks ago, man, right? And pretty much they're protesting the rates. I'm losing money just to work. The last week I worked, I paid $200 out of my own pocket just to get home, said Echeves. I have to pay to work, and truck brokers are keeping most of the cut. We have to pay on average $500 each time we fuel. Insurance is around $1,000 per month, and parts for my truck are 3 to 4 times more expensive than a regular car part, and some drivers are still paying for truck and trailer. On that alone, I pay over $2,300 a month, right? Paying to work, right? That's his play. That's his complaint right there, man. You know what I mean? Let's get some precepts, right? Job chapter 20. Job chapter 20. Salakia for the phone, brothers. Job chapter 20, verse 18, I believe. Job 20, verse 18. Right. That which he labored for shall he restore. Right. We're going to see a lot of Babylon the Great. We're going to see a lot of lawsuits, man, arising out of all of this, man. Suing because they got sick on the job. They got the COVID on the job. The PPE wasn't provided. My relative died. They're on a ventilator. They're going to get sued, right? That which he labored for shall he restore and shall not swallow it down. So everything that he's laboring for, these big wills, Babylon the Great, America the Great, the corporations, right? A lot of it's going to go out in restitution through this COVID thing, right? And shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, right? Upset corporations because of the backlash they're receiving from the frontline workers, man, right? And they're gonna have to dish out a lot of restitution, man, right? Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away a house which he builded not. Everything Esau, everything wicked Babylon has built has been taken by force and built on the backs of others, right? Right, the backs of Israel through the transatlantic, through the diaspora, the backs of the indigenous, right, the backs of others, right, everything that's been violently taken and built upon the backs of others. Verse 20: surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly; he shall not save of that which he desired. Right, he's not he's in a state of despair right now, man. There's no quietness within himself. Right, verse 21. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods, right? And we're seeing all his exporting being dried up, nothing to export because it's all being dried up, right? With this COVID thing. Verse 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits, right? Straits meaning difficulty, right? In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, right? And we look up this Hebrew word in this precept for the wicked. It's amal, toiling concretely, a laborer, right? A laborer. So all these laborers, these workers, their hands are coming down on their establishment. Babylon the Great, wicked Esau, right? Let's get another precept. Jeremiah 51. And nations are just mad, man. They're tired of drinking. Nations within Babylon the Great, nations are surrounding Babylon the Great, tired of drinking his doctrine, his wine, man. Jeremiah 51 verse, we'll close out with this one, man. Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's hand, that made all the earth drunken, right? He's made the whole earth drunken with his philosophy, his ways, his beliefs, right? His fornication. The whole earth is drunken off of it, off of Babylon the Great, spiritual Babylon, America the Great, off of his doctrine, right? That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, right? The nations have drunken of this wine, man. Babylon's wine, man. Babylon's way, Babylon's false gods, Babylon's idols, Babylon's abominations, right? Right? The nations are mad. Therefore, the nations are mad. Right? And we're seeing it, man. Right? And all that's going to happen is it's going to continue to deteriorate, continue to get worse. Right? World War III going to pop off. Right? Jacob's trouble is going to intensify. Right? Sedition among men. Right. As a matter of fact, let's get that before we close out, man. Sedition among men. Second Ezra 15. Salakia. Phone messed up, man. Satan, you know what I mean? Second Ezra 15. Satan always trying to stop this word, you know what I mean? Second Ezra 15. Where is it? Sedition among men. Second Ezra 15 verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and evading one another. Right? Sedition among men, man. These protests. Right? Invading one another. Right? We're seeing kingdoms and nations rise up against one another. Right? For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Pretty much are going to do what they want, man. You know what I mean? Right? We're seeing all these protests across Babylon the Great, America the Great. Right? Protesting this COVID thing. Open the economy. Right? Pretty much doing what they want. Masks on, masks off. Right? But yeah, so just a couple of precepts, man. I read that article this morning, man. I wanted to drop a couple precepts on it, man. I pray you're edified, most high willing, right? I pray you're edified. Call Allah Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakah Kadash. Double honors once again to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me his truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim pushing his truth all over the earth, right? Stay focused, stay prayed up, pray without ceasing. Kwam Yasharala, Abad Babal.